September 11th, we often ask ourselves, what would I have done if I were there? As the beautiful documentary produced by ESPN says, in the last hour of your life, what choices would you make? Where would you be? Who would you help? For Welles Remy Crowther, those answers are forever stitched on this red bandana. Yesterday, our nation marked the 24th anniversary of September 11th, 2001. It is a day that never leaves us. We remember where we were, who we were with, and the horror that we saw. And every year we gather, not only to mourn those we lost, but to honor the incredible courage that emerged in the face of pure evil. Welles grew up here in Nyack, a son, a brother, a teammate, a volunteer firefighter. As a little boy, his father handed him a red bandana, and it never left his side. On the field at Boston College, under his helmet in lacrosse games, and later, tucked into the pocket of a young man making his way on Wall Street, that red bandana was always there. On September 11th, 2001, when terror struck the South Tower of the World Trade Center, Welles picked up the mantle of his childhood. He tied that red bandana over his face, and he went to work. In the sky lobby of the 78th floor, where smoke and fire had trapped hundreds, Welles appeared out of nowhere. His words were calm but urgent. Follow me. Help the ones you can help. And people did follow him, down to safety, down towards life. Then Welles turned back. He climbed back into the fire, again and again. Survivors remember him not by name, but by that red bandana. And because of him, at least 18 people walked out of the South Tower who otherwise would not have. Welles never made it out. 6 months later, his body was found in the rubble alongside New York City firefighters doing the work he always dreamed of. He was but 24 years old. The Gospel of John tells us, greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Welles lived that truth. He gave everything so others could live. His courage, his sacrifice, and his compassion represent the very best of who we are as Americans. And so today, standing here in his hometown firehouse, I am proud to announce that we are requesting and asking President Trump to posthumously award Wells Crowther the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor in the United States. I am also here to announce that I will be introducing legislation in Congress to posthumously award Wells Crowther the Congressional Gold Medal. These medals have been given to leaders, thinkers, cultural icons, but I can think of no one more deserving than Welles, because his story is not one of celebrity or wealth or power. It is the story of selflessness, of a hometown kid who did the right thing when it mattered most. To his mother, Alison, to Wells's family, thank you for sharing your son with us and for ensuring that generations know the man behind the red bandana. To the Nyack Fire Department, and Empire Hook and Ladder, and the Rockland County Volunteer Firefighters Association, thank you for carrying forward his legacy of service. In Rockland County and across the Hudson Valley, we know what it means to serve. Half of the homes in my congressional district have a cop, a firefighter, an EMT, or a veteran living in the household. Welles is a symbol of that tradition and a reminder that heroism doesn't come from rank or title, but from the choices we make in the hardest moments of our lives. 24 years later, his story still teaches us, still inspires us, still challenges us to ask, what would we do in the last hour of our lives? For Wells Crowther, the answer is eternal. It is written in courage. It is written in sacrifice. It is written on a red bandana. On Labor Day 2001, just days before the attacks, Wells told his mother, "I'm going to change the world with this bandana." And Wells did. I want to thank all of our first responders, our local officials, our veterans, and members of the media for being here today. To Alison and the entire Crowther family, and to all who continue to carry Wells' legacy forward, thank you. His story will never be forgotten. And at this time, I'm going to ask Alison Crowther to say a few words.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, this is just amazing. Thank you. Oh, how to follow those beautiful words, and thank you, and this wonderful effort to award Wells the Presidential Medal of Freedom and now a Congressional Gold Medal. That was a total surprise. So I guess Congressman Lawler's really captured so much of Wells's story. I guess it could be my job to just say Wells was a very humble young man, and his sister would always say he celebrated others' successes more than his own. Wells was always a very caring soul, and on September 11th, his regular day was, as was everyone's, turned upside down into a most disastrous situation. Thanks to his core of goodness and the training he received here at Empire Hook and Ladder Company, where he had served since he was 16 years old as a junior firefighter and then a full firefighter. He also spent many hours in his youth with his father, my husband, who was also a member here, helping out with the truck and doing small jobs around the truck. And I think he really gained a sense of the family, the importance of the family of the firefighters. On September 11th, Wells's actions were fueled by a deep sense of just pure humanity. There were people he had to save. He didn't care what race, religion, color, background, social status of the individuals there. He was there simply to save lives. It was a purely humanitarian act, and he fortunately had the skills and the training to be able to do so. So I think Wells would want me to say, and I always ask Wells, what would you want me to say? I think he would want me to say, let's remember what it was like after September 11th in this country, September 12th, 13th, and on. How we all came together in spite of our many differences, and we're one. We were all brothers and sisters of this country, as we really are today. It's so important to remember that one of the blessed freedoms of our country is freedom of speech, and to be able, responsible freedom of speech, and to be able to believe in values that you hold dear. And they may differ from your neighbor next door or people across the country, but it's one of our freedoms that was given to us here in this country. And so we really need to remember that we need to, in spite of our differences, in spite of our philosophies and our different positions about situations in the world, we are all citizens of this United States, and we need to treat each other respectfully as such. Even people who are here legitimately working hard to build their lives and save their lives. So I think that's what I would like to leave with everyone, is just to love your fellow man and woman. Love, act in love, not through fear or hate. And I think that there will be much more positive outcome as a result. So thank you all. Thank you for recognizing Wells so beautifully today. Thank you, Empire, for being as wonderful, and all of our leaders here, our governmental leaders who've come to be with us today. Thank you all.
Thank you. Now ask Dave Gottlieb to come up and speak on behalf of the Empire Hook and Ladder Fire Company.
"24 years ago, I got a phone call from Tommy Wanamaker telling me that they couldn't find Wells. That thought was foreign to me. That was not on my plan for that day. I reached out to your husband. We tried to do everything, right?
Yeah.
And it was an absolute feeling of helplessness. But in the end, what we learned was that there are people out there that will step up. This fire company has taught me and generations of men and women who have come before and will come after what it means to serve. Your son embodies everything that a man or woman should strive to be for in life. No questions asked. Didn't ask if you're Republican, Democrat, what religion you were. You need help, we're coming. That's what the fire departments in America do every day. The first responders do every day. Your son is more deserving of this award than anyone I've ever heard of. Alison, every time we do one of these things, we say the same thing. We thank you for sharing both Wells and Jefferson with us. When I joined the company, Jefferson took me under his wing. He showed me the way, right? He got me started here. This is a tradition that will continue unabated, unstopped. No one's going to question anything. When we show up, we're here to help. That's what it is. I hope that America watches this. I know they do. We get phone calls, letters all the time from all over the world. You have no idea the lives your son has actually touched. Not just the 18 people he saved. It's the people that go on day in and day out. We love you for sharing him with us. You are an inspiration to all of us. 24 years ago, I did not have children. I have children now. I could not imagine having to do this all the time. You are the strongest woman I have ever met. You are such an inspiration to all of us at the firehouse. We love helping you with the dog.
He visits every time we walk
Yeah.
by.
And I just want you to know that we're here for you forever. For as long as this fire company is here, you're a member. You have a seat at our table, and we love everything you've done for us. And there is no man, no woman more deserving of this award and now the next than your son Wells. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. I'll now ask our county executive, Ed Day, to come up and say a few words.
And standing here as a former first responder, every time we go through this on 9/11 and we remember your son's great name, it never gets any easier. And so David's comment, how you go through this as a parent every year is just remarkable in and of itself. But today, thanks to the efforts of our Congressman Mike Lawler, something very special is happening. We here in Rockland County, this community, understands and believes strongly in what Wells is all about. He has the respect for his heroism here, respect for his dedication. That respect now will be extended across this great nation. And that's really what this really is today about, is the entire nation will understand the story of the man with the red bandana. And hopefully it starts something, and we spoke earlier about where do we go from here in light of all the things that have been going on, especially around 9/11. Alison has a charge, and she's very dedicated to doing that and in finding a way that we can be better collectively in this country. And I can't think of any person more deserving to take the lead in that is Alison and her son, Wells. So with that, thank you very much. And Mike, congratulations. Thank you for your help.
Thank you. Now ask Clarkstown Town Supervisor George Homan to say a few words.
Well, good morning, and I want to thank Congressman Lawler for his efforts in this regard. This is a huge honor, and we expect that it will come to fruition. And really, to further tell Wells' story, and I want to thank Alison gotten to know her and her family a little bit throughout the years. And we also look to further commemorate Welles at some point in the future with a renaming of one of our streets in Clarkstown in his memory. But I was struck so much by Welles' story. You know, he came from a believing family, a believing family in service, a believing family in God. And when he told the people in the towers, "Come follow me," it really echoes scripture, right? I mean, that was the charge that Jesus gave to his disciples. It was a call to discipleship. And Welles really exemplified what that discipleship is. With discipleship, there's a cost, and Welles paid that ultimate cost. And he's become an example for generations. I'm always touched and heartened, you know, the 9/11 commemorations that would take place at the schools. They take place in the schools now today, particularly here in Rockland County, in Clarkstown, in our town. And these are kids that they weren't even born when 9/11 took place. And they're moved by Welles and they're moved by the Red Bandana. And that's something, if there can be any good that came out of a horrific event like 9/11, it was exactly what Alison said. We lived with the September 12th mentality for a period of time, and the efforts of people like Welles, who really demonstrated what true discipleship is about. So thank you, Congressman Lawler, and thank you, Alison, for sharing Welles with us.
So last night we had the opportunity to attend the Yankee game with President Trump and had the opportunity to speak with President Trump specifically about Welles and the Presidential Medal of Freedom and told him that a more formal request would be forthcoming, which I know Rachel has put together and is being finalized. But the president was extremely receptive and grateful for Welles' service, for his heroism, and for the sacrifice that was made. And so Alison had and Rachel had given me a bandana from Italy that I was able to present to the president last night, and I know he was grateful to receive that. But speaking of Italy, I was in the Vatican 2 weeks ago and had the good fortune of meeting with Pope Leo and having an audience with Pope Leo. And so I had asked Pope Leo to bless a pair of rosary beads in Welles' honor. And so I want to present those to you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.